Guys, I apologize. I am so sorry for not getting this video out on Sunday. Oh my god. I don't want to make any excuses, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's it. Honestly, I underestimated it. I forgot that I wrote a large-ass script for this back then, and editing took a while. So, here we go. Hope you guys enjoy. Part 6 of What If Future BEERUS Woke Up. Let's go. When the tournament would begin, Gohan would stay with Videl, Goku with Roshi, Trunks with Granola, Broly with Paibara, and 16 with Saxo. And they would decide that they would stay in pairs so then they could take out the other universes while at the same time making sure everybody is accounted for. The tournament would soon enough begin, with Broly being targeted by Universe 9 right off the bat, and with Paibara's help, they are able to defeat Universe 9, with them being the first to be erased. After that, Caulifla and Kale would approach Gohan and Videl, with Caulifla challenging Gohan to a fight, and Gohan would be impressed with Caulifla's strength, as she would soon enough be able to become a Super Saiyan 2. Videl would soon enough have to step in, telling Gohan that he needs to finish the fight. Gohan would then give a bit more off to Caulifla, as he would power up into his Super Saiyan 3, and tells Caulifla to continue training, and she can easily achieve Super Saiyan 3. Gohan would then eliminate Caulifla, with Kale getting outraged by this, and her anger would be unleashed, as she would transform into her legendary Super Saiyan form. Broly would take notice to this power surge, and would ask Paibara to take him to her. They would arrive to see Kale charging towards Gohan, but before she could throw the first blow, Broly would catch it. Gohan would be surprised, and Broly would say that he will deal with her. Gohan and Videl then allow this, as Paibara stays to watch just in case. Broly would then utilize his wrathful form to keep up with Kale, and would try to calm her down, saying that he knows how it feels to lose control, and that he can help her. Kale wouldn't listen, as she would be too berserk, so he would have to calm her down in a different way, through brute force. Broly would then transform into his Super Saiyan, and Kale would look on confused, until Broly would begin to overpower her and slam her down. The battle would be fierce, as their auras would clash with each other, and firing many blasts around the arena, as their auras would clash. This would take out a majority of the fighters, but it would end with Broly knocking out Kale. Before Broly could throw Kale out of the ring, it would intervene and grab onto Kale, and thanks to the Pride Troopers arriving, he would be able to escape. Broly would get attacked by the troopers, with Paibara, Gohan, and Videl joining him. The Pride Troopers would try to defeat Broly, but it would end with them being eliminated. Jiren would then come out of hiding, after 16 and Saxo face off against the Universe 2 Love Maidens, which ends like it did in canon. Gohan and everyone in the ring would notice Jiren's presence and his target. Gohan would meet Jiren in the middle of the ring, asking if he really is going to fight him alone. Jiren would nod, and Gohan would power up into Super Saiyan and charge in. Jiren would face Gohan easily until Gohan would power up into his Super Saiyan Blue. Gohan would take an offensive for a short while until Jiren would easily flip the script, as he would easily overpower Gohan. Gohan would be close to being finished until he would make a risky move. Gohan would back off of Jiren and would begin to power up with his aura rising to the sky. He would then disperse his aura as he would unleash his Kaioken. Gohan has entered Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Gohan would try to blitz Jiren, and Jiren would have a bit more trouble, but it would end the same, with Gohan being knocked back by Jiren. Jiren would remark that he's impressive, but would say that it's over. Gohan would say that he's not done just yet, and he would hop to the largest rock he could find and would ask his universe for power. Everyone would share their energy, and soon enough, Gohan would have his own spirit bomb. Gohan would then throw it down towards Jiren, but Jiren would be able to catch it with his bare hands. Jiren would then push it back towards Gohan, and Gohan would have to go full power Super Saiyan Blue. Gohan's body would begin to collapse, but Gohan wouldn't give up. He would continue to push, and unleash the Kaioken once again. Jiren would begin to be pushed back, with him getting very annoyed about Gohan's resistance. Gohan would then watch in horror as Jiren would unleash his aura and push the Spirit Bomb straight back at him. Everyone would be horrified by this, but then even more shocked as Gohan would rise out of the rubble. Gohan's hair would flick up and he would ascend into his Ultra Instinct Omen. Everyone would be shocked on Gohan's new power and that terrifying heat that emanates from him. Jiren would be most surprised of all as Gohan would rush in on pure instinct. Jiren and Gohan would go back to back, with Gohan's strikes becoming more advanced than the others, until he would feel his power diminishing and would try to end the battle, but it would end with Jiren showing that he isn't even at full power. Gohan would be blasted away, but Trunks would teleport in and help out Gohan. Trunks would heal Gohan, asking what that power was, with Gohan saying that he wouldn't know, but would tell Trunks that Whis had once talked about a technique where your instincts take over. Jiren would then begin his meditation, with Gohan asking everyone to regroup. Gohan would tell the others that they should go on their own for the time being, and if they are close to the edge, then to send a signal. They would all agree and separate. The robots of Universe 3 would try to take out Gohan, thinking he is weakened, but Gohan would dispose of them easily. As Universe 7 continues through the tournament, Hit and Kale approach Broly once again after Kaba is knocked out. Hit would tell Kale not to get in the way unless she can control that power, and he would begin to fight with Broly. This fight would be completely different, as Broly has gotten much stronger with his Super Saiyan and would be dominating Hit, until Hit would show off more of his assassin skills. Kale would watch in anger, and a feeling of hopelessness would overcome her, as she feels that she is dragging her team down because of her cursed power. If only she can control it. Kale would look up towards the stands, where she would see Caulifla cheering her on, saying that no one can beat her. Kale would then decide that she's done feeling this way, and if she can't control her power, she will at least go out swinging. Kale would then power up to her Super Saiyan form, but this time, she would be able to control it. With this, she would join Hit, and the two would begin to overwhelm Broly. Kale would impress Broly, but this would only result in Broly getting closer and closer to the edge. Broly would try to break out of this brawl, but he would find himself stuck. Literally. Hit would unleash his time cage onto Broly, with Broly not knowing how to counter this. Kale and Hit would prepare one last attack to kick Broly out of the ring, but before they do, Android 16 would arrive to help. 16 would set up a barrier around Broly and begin to talk with him, saying that his anger level is rising, and that instead of letting it run rampant like Kale did, to control it. Broly would say that he doesn't think he's ready yet, but 16 would tell Broly that he has to let go and show everyone his true power. Broly would watch in fear as 16 would fall out of the ring. Hit and Kale then looked towards Broly, who would then break out of the time cage. They would see Broly with his eyes closed, just standing there in his base form, and so they would both charge at Broly until Broly opens his eyes, with his eyes glowing a light green. The two are then pushed back as Broly explodes his aura with his Super Saiyan form once again, but this time, Broly would buff up even more and show Kale what a true legendary Super Saiyan is. Even though it's called full-powered Super Saiyan, but you know, that's cool. Broly would then charge in and gun punch the two out of the ring. Broly would look towards the stands where Kale would be and would promise her that one day she can get this power herself, and she would shout to make sure he teaches her. Broly would smirk and tell her that it's a promise, as her universe would be erased. Seeing their universe erased, though, would fire up Broly's tempered rage, with Broly beginning to lose control. Paibara would notice this and try to get close to calm Broly down, but Broly's aura would spark out as Broly would try to hold in his rage. Granola would then step up and tells Paibara to step aside. Granola then aims his fingers and fires a shot, which hits Broly in the neck, and Broly powers down. Paibara would ask how he did that, with Granola saying that Broly's vitals were easy to find since he was staying still. The two would then walk over to Broly and heal him. The tournament continues, with universes falling left and right, and unfortunately, some of Universe 7. The remaining fighters would be Gohan, Videl, Broly, Trunks, Granola, Saxo, and Goku, as they would come across the 3 remaining Pride Troopers. Gohan would step up to Jiren, with Videl grabbing his hand and telling him to remember they're there for him. Gohan would nod, as he would see Broly step up with him. Gohan and Broly would power up, with Gohan powering up into Super Saiyan Blue and Broly becoming a true legendary Super Saiyan. Jiren would smirk, saying that their power continues to intrigue him, but in the end, it will come out to be nothing. Gohan would say, "We will see about that," and the 3 charged towards each other. Videl, Saxo, and Granola would take on Dispo, with Dispo's speed showing off to be a nuisance. Saxo would be stronger than Dispo, but not faster, and that would show as Dispo would easily overwhelm him. Videl would try to help, but when she would come close, Saxo would have to take a hit for her. Videl would be getting annoyed about this, and then would make a strategy with Saxo and Granola. Videl would taunt at Dispo, asking him if he can't go any faster. Dispo would get irritated by this and would charge in, but would be countered by Saxo. Videl would smirk, saying that eager guys like himself are too fast when it comes to try and hit the little ones out. Dispo would tell Videl to shut her mouth, and he would charge towards Saxo this time, but he would be shot off by Granola. Granola would smirk, as Dispo would be trapped by the 3 now. Dispo would say that he's entertained them enough, and he powers up into his light speed mode and charges forward, but then he falls into the rubble. Dispo would grab onto his legs in pain, asking what Granola did. Granola would smirk, saying that his right eye can find any vital, and with this, Saxo eliminates Dispo. On Goku's side, he would be getting beaten by Toppo, but Goku would be loving the battle he would be having. Trunks would help Goku by blocking Toppo's attacks that he had seen from the Zen exhibition, and Trunks would even be having trouble against Toppo. Would Toppo enter his God of Destruction form? I don't think so, since Goku and Trunks are pure of heart, and with this, it would take a warrior's defeat, after seeing who Trunks and Goku really are. Toppo wouldn't make it easy though, as he would use his full power, which would be a problem for Goku and Trunks, but they would be able to overcome it. Gohan would smirk to see his friends around him, asking Jiren if he's still confident. Jiren would be annoyed, and would look towards his companions, telling them that they're pitiful. Jiren would then burst out his full power, which pushes everyone back. Jiren would then dash forward and knock out Granola, Trunks, Saxo, and would knock away Videl, but wouldn't be able to knock her out as Goku would catch her. Gohan would see this and would look towards Jiren, saying that was a mistake. Gohan then powers up into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and charges for Jiren. Gohan would then connect a hard punch on Jiren's face, which would push Jiren back. Goku would tell Gohan to wait, but Gohan wouldn't listen, so he would join him alongside Broly. Jiren would be getting overwhelmed by the 3 way more than he did in canon, and they would actually be able to hurt Jiren. Jiren would be outraged by this, and that they're putting so much damage onto him, and would blast them away. Jiren would try to summon a large energy sphere and throw it down towards the 3, but Broly would blast it away with a large mouth beam. Goku would then throw Gohan towards Jiren, and Gohan would slam a kick onto his face, which would cause Jiren to spit out blood. Jiren would then be thrown through many pieces of rubble and get stuck in the last one. Jiren would look up to see the wrath of Universe 7 as Broly, Goku, and Gohan would charge forward, but Jiren would think back on his wish and snap. Jiren would then push past his limits as he would enter his limit breaker state. Gohan and the 3 would be devastated to feel this overwhelming power. If only they had taken him out earlier. Broly decides that it's now or never, and if his anger is directed towards Jiren, maybe they can win. Broly then prepares to let loose one final time, until Jiren rushes straight to him and blasts him out of the ring. Goku would be shocked and watch Jiren rush to him, but Gohan would take the attack. Gohan would be punched out of Super Saiyan Blue, and Jiren would then look back towards Goku. Goku would power up into Super Saiyan 3 and stack Kaioken on top of it, with Goku beginning to hop around the arena bits to try and escape Jiren's assault. Goku would then shout towards his son to listen closely. He has been training for so long and has been through so much, and he's been able to turn over crazy scenarios. Gohan would look up as Goku would continue telling him that he can win, no matter if he's there or not. He's the hero of the future. He can win. Goku would then be knocked out of the ring as he would give off the rest of his energy to Gohan. Gohan would then rise up, with Gohan's life flashing before his eyes. When he was kidnapped, trained by Piccolo, fighting foes like Vegeta and Frieza, dealing with years of pain from the androids, and to the realm of the gods, which changed everything for him. Jiren would see Gohan begin to power up and charge forward in anger until Gohan would catch his attack. Jiren would look surprised as Gohan's eyes would flash into his silver. Gohan would then slowly ball his fist and punch Jiren straight back. Jiren would be perplexed, but would compose himself. Gohan then begins to glow, with his eyes closed and him powering up into Mastered Ultra Instinct. Gohan would then begin to walk up to Jiren, with Jiren telling Gohan to not get cocky, but Gohan would cut him off and overwhelm Jiren with his power and strength and speed. Whis and BEERUS would be proud to see this alongside Goku, who would be intrigued to see this power display. BEERUS would look over at Goku, saying that he's glad he didn't erase Gohan when he first met him, with Goku saying that Gohan's getting closer and closer to BEERUS each and every day, and this proves that. BEERUS would smirk, saying that he's right, and they would look back toward the battle. Jiren would be relentless in his attacks, but Gohan would be stronger than Jiren, and Gohan would show this. Gohan would send out a fury of punches and kicks, which all land onto Jiren, with Gohan then kicking Jiren back and forth like a ping pong, and Jiren would break out of this, but would look up to see Gohan double kick him into the tournament grounds. Gohan would then place all of his power into his hands and charge one last attack. Gohan would then leap back and forth and would fire out his largest Kamehameha, which would trump the size of Teen Gohan's from Canon against Perfect Cell. Jiren would be pushed out of the ring as he would finally understand why Gohan had won. He had placed his trust into others, and they him. The power of trust. Jiren would be eliminated, and Gohan would power out of Ultra Instinct. Gohan would then smirk to Jiren. As the tournament of power would end, the Super Dragon Balls would be summoned, with Gohan wishing for all of the universes to come back. Everyone would be happy to hear this, and would head back to Earth. Once returning, Bulma would be very glad to see everyone back, and would whip up a victory party, where all participants would stay. After the party, Trunks would return Granola, Saxo, and Paibara back to their home planets. As promised, Paibara would separate the Namekians back to repopulate the planet, but before Trunks would take Paibara back, Saxo would ask to go with him. Trunks would be confused, asking why, with Saxo saying that he had to fuse with this entire planet to help win the tournament, and Jiren was easily able to knock him out. Saxo would ask to train with Trunks saying that he's gonna take a break from training, as he also hates his loss to Jiren, but he'd be more than happy to bring Saxo to the realm of the Kais. Saxo would be glad, and would go there. Trunks would then head back to Earth to collect his thoughts on the tournament. They had won, but Trunks wasn't even close to Gohan's level. Gohan just keeps evolving. Maybe the path of creation wasn't going to suit him. Maybe he would have to try to explore his Saiyan roots and seek destruction. Before he would, though, he would spend some time with Mai. Broly would keep his promise and would head to Universe 6 to help train Kale and the other Saiyans. Before leaving, Broly would thank Gohan for everything and would guarantee that he would be back. Gohan would smirk as he would watch him go off. In Goku's last moments, BEERUS would offer to bring Goku back to life, but Goku wouldn't actually accept it. Goku would say that everyone's time will soon enough come, but until then, they have all fought for their peace, with BEERUS agreeing, saying that Goku also deserves his own. Goku would be thankful, but before he would leave back to Otherworld, Gohan would ask him for his help. Goku would be very curious to this, but then very amused, as this Goku wasn't the best at. Goku would tell Gohan to follow his heart in whatever he feels is best. That's what he did. Gohan would thank his father, with Goku telling his son to come to Otherworld from time to time to train with him. Goku would then return back to Otherworld, with Gohan then heading home. Gohan's home would be close to where Chi-Chi lives, and Gohan would ask his mother to watch Pan for a bit. Gohan would then spar with Videl telling Gohan to use Ultra Instinct, with Gohan saying that he can only access the Omen form, as the Mastered form took a lot of energy out of him. They would spar, with Videl being persistent as always, and after, Gohan would take Videl to an old spot. Videl would then ask Gohan why he's brought her there, with Gohan saying that ever since BEERUS came around, he has had more adventures, and that he wants to continue having those adventures with her. Gohan would then propose to Videl, with Videl saying yes, and the two having a large wedding and would set off into the sunset. And with that, we'll end the story for right now. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, so it reminds me to make more content like this, and for me to actually post it on time. Again, very sorry for it being late. Now, this isn't the finale just yet. Next part will be the finale, where we end off the story, and so, if you really want the part to come out much sooner, get this video to a good 50 likes. I guess that's what I'll go for this video. 50 likes. If you guys make it, awesome. If not, oh well. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and until next time. Later!